Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jasmine and I'm a beauty and lifestyle content creator on Instagram, TikTok, and right here on YouTube. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and give a tutorial on how to do your gel nails at home. Me personally, I've been doing my own nails for about a year now, so I've been doing my own gel manicures at home. I've been saving money, and I just thought I would go ahead and show you guys how I do it. So if you're interested in this video, let's go ahead and get into it. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and file my nails. I do like my nails short and square. In here, my nails are a little too long for me. I know that's like not too long compared to some other people, but I really do like my nails to be short, square, even. So I just like to make sure that I am making them as square as possible. Then I also like to make sure that I am filing the corners just to make them a little bit round. But of course, this is just what I like. So go ahead and file your nails however you desire. Now for the next step, we're going to do our cuticles, and I like to use Sally Hansen's Instant Cuticle Remover. I just basically go ahead and put this on my cuticles. So with this cuticle remover, basically it just sits on your cuticles for 15 seconds and it softens them up. And then I kind of just like to go ahead and push back my cuticles. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this tool right here to push back my cuticles, and now they're nice and soft after using that cuticle remover. As I'm pushing my cuticles back, you're going to notice some of that residue, and that is my cuticle. So this does do a good job getting rid of that excess skin, and I just really love to use this. It's super simple and easy to use. I'm using my nail filer because I couldn't find my buffer, and personally I like to use the abrasive side because what this does is it allows the gel to stick to your nails, so it's not going to peel off, and it'll make sure that your manicure actually lasts. Next, you want to dehydrate your nails. You can use an alcohol pad like I'm using or a nail dehydrator, and this just prepares your nails, giving it a clean slate before you get started. And after all of that preparation, here's what my nails look like. They're clean, they're filed, and they're ready to go. And now moving on to the fun part. So before I do my nails, I like to make sure that I do wear gloves to protect your hands. That is super important. And you want three things. You need a base coat, your color that you'll be using, and a top coat. You'll also want to have a thin brush like this on hand because, you know, if you mess up, you want to be able to go ahead and clean up the edges. So I like to use this and just dip it in my acetone just to clean up the edges if I do make a mistake. And now for the base coat. Now when it comes to nail polish, you want to make sure that you're using thin coats. You know, you don't really want to pack on too much of that gel polish because then, you know, you'll have too much and your nails will just look too chunky and it just won't really come out right. So you want to make sure you're using thin coats. And what I like to do is let the brush do the work for me. I'm just letting it fan out to get the perimeter of my nails, and I'm also making sure that I'm not flooding the cuticle line. You don't want to put too much of the polish down by the cuticle because it'll just get too messy. So make sure that you're leaving a little bit of space. You're not flooding it with all of that nail polish, and you're just kind of keeping it clean. Here I am doing it on my non-dominant hand. So the key here is just to let the brush do the work. Let it fan out to get the coat that you need, and just be super patient. Again, you have your brush if you need to, you know, clean up if you make a mistake. So between coats, I like to let my nails dry for about 30 seconds. I feel like that's enough time to let it cure in between coats. Moving on to my color, I am a bubble bath girl. I always have my nails pink and I'm always using bubble bath. And if you've used bubble bath, you know that this color is pretty opaque. It's not too pigmented. So I personally like to use 3 coats for this. Now, if you are using a more solid color, I'm pretty sure you can just go ahead and get away with 2 coats. But for me in this case, I am going to use 3, and I'm using the same technique here. I'm letting the brush do the work for me, and I'm making sure that I'm not flooding the cuticle line. What I also like to do is make sure that I'm painting the top of my nails and the edges. This is super important because you don't want your nails to chip on those edges. Always make sure to go ahead and paint those just to make sure everything is fully coated. And here I am using my non-dominant hand. As you can see, again, I'm letting the brush do the work. I'm letting it fan out to get most of the nail for me. And I'm just making sure that I'm doing things slowly and being super patient. I'm just moving on to the second coat. With bubble bath and with it being so opaque, it does look a little streaky at first, but that's because you have to build up the color with this color. If you're using like a more solid color, you should at least see that it's becoming more solid by the second coat, but with this one you really do have to build it up. And I'll go ahead and make sure that I'm linking all of these things in the description box below, so don't worry, I got you guys. I will link all the colors and everything that I'm using for you guys.
Show me some love, kisses and hugs. No, I never had an issue. Go to the club with your boys, baby. I never wanted you to stay too long. Just wanted you to show me up. So won't you say my name, say my name. If you claim you want me, it ain't no thing. You acting kinda shady. You ain't been calling me baby. Boy, you can go stop playing games, playing games.
After doing my 3 coats, I'm going to go ahead and use this top coat, and this is a shiny coat. I personally like it shiny, and I'm doing the same technique, same method. I'm making sure that I'm not flooding the cuticle line. I'm also making sure that I'm painting the top and corners of my nails. This is super important as you go through and super important as you are doing the top coat, because again, you don't want your nails chipping off on the sides.
Trying to match your words with your actions. I need more than satisfaction. Did you really feel that action?
Now for me personally, I like to cure my top coat a little longer, and I do it for 120 seconds. Now that may be too long, but I just get paranoid. I like to make sure that my nails are cured and ready. Now for the very last step, this is super important. I'm going to be using the Gelish Nail Surface Cleanse. Now if you've ever done your gel nails at home and you feel like they're so sticky after you're done, use this. I like to make sure that I use this each time, and it really just gets rid of that sticky film, and so you don't have to worry about any of that. Your nails will be ready to go. Now after I do my nails, I like to personally make sure that I use like a hand exfoliator. I wash my hands and I put on some hand lotion. But the most important step is to make sure your cuticles are hydrated. And you can use any cuticle oil really. I'm using the one from Chanel, and a little goes a long way with this one. And I just like to make sure that my cuticles are hydrated. This is super important to keep your manicure fresh and looking good. And here is the end result. I love doing my nails at home. It's just so therapeutic, playing music and just kind of like, you know, having like a little self-care moment. And I just love doing my nails. Again, I've been doing my nails for a year now at home, and I've just been loving the process. I feel like I've gotten better at doing my nails over time. So take your time. If you're a beginner, this definitely does take practice, especially learning how to paint your non-dominant hand. But just like with anything, practice, and you'll get it. So yeah, that is how I do my gel manicures at home. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.